Right, okay, Faye, when you're ready.
Okay. So I chose the short film Colour Bleed. There's a little summary of the short film there. It's about a young girl who's creative and idealistic. She dreams of brighter days in a forgotten Eastern European city. And you'll find out what happens. You've seen it once, haven't you? This is just the trailer, by the way.
Is it not loads? I hate this internet.
Schools.
Yes, I know.
Should I just carry on? Because everyone's seen it once.
I think keep it loading, have it minimised. Yeah, and go through. So
So you said the genre of the film was drama / action / thrillery, fantasy kind of thing. The director also produced, wrote, edited and animated the short film. You can see here there was some other people that were helping him out with photography and things like that. The cast mainly was based on two people, which was the old lady, which was Anna Barry. She's also been in Bill, Harry Potter, Doctors and Doctor Who. The girl here, whose name is Mila, plays the young girl. She was also in another short film called The Crooked Heart in 2011. This short film was funded by the BBC Network and BBC HD as part of the HD short films, because they was having this scheme about playing short films on the telly for BBC. And it was also partly funded by the filmmaker himself, as he's already quite established and he had the money to pay for the films. This was the producer's basic idea from the beginning. I'm not going to read it all out, but he basically goes through the first ideas he had of the film before he created it. Like, if you look at this girl, this isn't the girl from the film, but she has the bright hair that he wanted. The tattoo of the hummingbird. These were the people waiting outside the office. This wasn't actually from the film, but it's just pictures. And the old lady at the front desk, the kind of things he wanted to relate it to, make it look like. Okay, there's quite a lot of text here, but it's basically about the progress and the success of the short film itself. It was played in a lot of festivals and screenings. It was in the Rush's Soho Short Films in 2011, Fantastic Fest in Texas. It's been in quite over different countries and things like that. Also at Cambridge Film Festival in 2011, International Film Festival, and it won a few awards. It was the winner of the special jury. We had a special jury prize in the. I don't even know how to say it. Sitges.
Where is it on here?
I don't know if it's on there. I'm not sure how you say it, but it was a film award, which was a festival. It was also the winner of International Hollywood Short Film Festival, and also was a finalist for an audience award in the Rush's Soho Short Films. This is the narrative structure and Todoro's theory. I said, do you think that there is a equilibrium at the end? This was his theory, that there was first equilibrium, destruction, and then the new equilibrium at the end. I think the first equilibrium is obviously her regular life, and she sees the hummingbird, which obviously makes her happy. She's just doing the regular things that she does in her life. The destruction obviously starts when the woman stamps her hand and she gets the disease, it starts developing. And I think myself that the new equilibrium, even though she dies, is the fact that there is a hummingbird printed on the wall at the end, because she used to spray paint the walls and stuff before any of this happened, and she, like the summary says, wanted to make the world more colourful, seeing as she lived in such a dingy area. So I think the fact that the hummingbird is left printed on the wall is a type of new equilibrium, because the little girl stares at it at the end and you can kind of see that she's interested and she's kind of happy about seeing this massive bird, like bright coloured bird printed on the wall. So I think that's a new equilibrium. Oh, these are some facts about the film itself. There's some things about like the characters, like Anna Barry, who plays the Wicked Old Woman. She also played the Wicked Old Woman in 2011 feature film Your Highness, which also starred Natalie Portman, which won loads of awards recently. The director done the visual effects for Avatar 2012 and Inception. To give the now a cracked and dead look, scans of dried
Porcini.
yeah. Mushrooms were mapped onto the actress's fingernails.
The last one's funny.
A real-life witch, not unlike the one depicted in the short, nearly shut down the day of production when she disagreed with her building being used as the story's backdrop. There are 67 visual effect shots in the final film. The director spent 2 to 3 hours before every shoot drawing each of the young girl's tattoos with office support markers. Yeah, that's basically, I might be wrong on that. But, oh, the street scenes actually were in, did you say that? Krakow. Oh, filmed on the same locations as Schindler's List, which is obviously the Holocaust film. Yeah. Oh, I think, right, this is on your handouts, by the way, about hummingbirds. I think the hummingbird is like the most important thing in the short film. I think it like expresses what the whole film is about. I said, what do you think the hummingbird suggests? So if you can write down some notes about what you think, how it relates to the film and what you think it represents. Okay. I looked up what a hummingbird actually symbolises, and it says like a light in the darkness, which obviously relates to this film because if you look at the surroundings that she's in this dark, dingy area, like everything's grey, everything's really dull, and she completely contrasts it with, I said the links to the hummingbird obviously is her multicoloured hair, the spray paint that's used at the beginning of the film when she's spraying on the walls, and also the hummingbird represents love and joy, and she's got love tattooed on her hand. It's also a symbol of new life, which I said was the new equilibrium at the end because it's printed on the wall, and even though she has died, there's a new life there of the hummingbird on the wall. This is the actual storyboard that the producer created. You can pass it around because I'm going to copy this is quite big. But that's the actual original one. Oh yeah. I'll wait for them to look around. A bit of background information, which is also on your handouts as well, about Colour Bleed. That's actually from the producers. He had a whole thing set up on the website about all the breakdown of his production of the short film. He basically said that it came about because BBC's Claire Cook had seen another one of his short films, which was called Dark Clouds, and she emailed him to ask about what he was working on next, and he actually happened to be working on this film here. He said that this was something that would allow him to do everything, the whole film, like producing it, creating it, doing the visual effects, everything. Pitch and script were written in September of 2009, and the first half of the film was shot in London during December, and the second half was shot during February in Poland, and the film was delivered on the 31st of March 2010. And when he first created the film, it was originally called The Hummingbird, which is why obviously The Hummingbird is such a big relevance to the film. Oh, yeah, this is what I was talking about yesterday. I forgot to put it in because this is as she walks into the office and her hair's longer and you can't see the tattoo. And then as she's walking out, she's got a shaved head and you can see, I don't know if you can see it on them, can you see it properly? You can't I think it looks worse on this, but on the computer you can see it better.
Right.
But like, here she's completely shaved, you can see the ace tattoo, she's got ace of spades, which he obviously drew on her. And here her hair's long and you can't see it. So that's a little bit of a continuity here, definition. And so representations. On your sheets as well at the bottom it says what representations do you think there are, because I think there's quite a lot in this, especially about the main character, the girl, and like the contrast between the old woman. So if you want to write down some notes about what kind of representation do you have? What representations did you think there was in the film?
I think the hummingbird represented freedom. And obviously,
Yeah.
and like obviously this represents her in a way, so maybe she wants some sort of freedom.
Yeah. Anyone else? Maybe like the contrast between the old woman and her.
Maybe the contrast in the representation of like the completely two different generations and how one is looked down upon by the other. Like the old woman slaps the girl's hand because she's not paying attention, but you can tell she's looking at her in a downgrading way because of all her tattoos and piercings and stuff, and that's why they give her a close up of the love in her fingers, which represents how some people are stuck in their ways of thinking that you should only be like one certain thing, normal.
Yeah, is there a stereotype of the old lady, because the children usually think of old people as creepy, weird people, so she's a kid, she's kind of witch, so it's kind of...
She reminds me, sorry, just to interrupt, the woman in Harry Potter, the one who dresses in pink. I know she dresses in pink, so she's not like her. But those kind of characters that stamp down any form of individuality. Okay? If your hair isn't the way it should be, then you're sent home or you're excluded. Okay? And there are schools and places like that will do those kinds of things. That's what she represents to me.
Because I thought when I watched it as well, I was thinking, why does she actually stamp her hand? Why does she do it to her? But I think it might be because she looks at her, she's obviously colourful, she's got all these colours on her hair, and she might be angry at the fact that she's got this disease, and maybe she's looking at someone that takes colour to a whole.
But what is that cue for?
Stuck with this.
Yeah. What's the cue for though? You know where they're queuing? and she's stamping.
Oh, I think she
What's
just stamps
the-
off documents and stuff.
But what do you think that they're queuing up for? What do you? I mean, if he gets us next, we don't know. But what do you think?
I don't know, maybe it's something to like
Money.
maybe post office or money, like like I said,
Benefits.
something to,
Mm.
maybe.
Sorry.
Yeah, because the people behind her as well are quite rude and they
Yeah.
say like, oh, hurry up, it's taking ages.
Yeah.
So maybe, and obviously the office is really like dingy.
Sorry, can I ask you? I don't know if you're going to say this, but why does she get black all over her hands?
Because the woman puts her own, she's got obviously the disease under her gloves. She wears gloves the whole time. She squeezes her own blood into the ink pot to make the colour come out in the ink stamp. So when she stamps her hand, obviously it spreads to her. And that's how it starts. Oh, this is like a little tiny picture analysis because obviously I can't do a really long one. Basically, said like the mise en scène, like her tattoos say a lot about her, piercings, things like that. Obviously, a teenager, young person, kind of being a bit reckless, kind of do what she wants, and obviously spraying on the walls is seen as something like vandalism, but she sees it as art. Her clothing, she's got a top on with a guy on with his middle finger up at the desk, so it obviously shows that maybe she's quite free, she doesn't care about what other people think. It also said her surroundings, like the fake fallacy, at the beginning is so cloudy, so obviously suggests what her area is like in contrast to her, and the office is really dingy as well. So the sound is diegetic and non-diegetic sound. There's not a lot of dialogue, but what is there helps you understand the kind of people she's around and what kind of person she is. There's also exaggerated sound, like loads when she's pulling off her nails, like you can hear like it ripping off. And there's also quite eerie and uncomfortable music, so obviously quite disturbing. So the editing has lots of straight cuts because it still needs to be realistic to some degree as it's meant to be set in her regular life. But there's also some fades to show like, time passing by. The camera work, there's loads of close-ups to show like, her reactions, obviously when seeing that she's got the disease on her hands. There's quite a lot of long shots to show when she's running and like the area around her, obviously the contrast between colours, along with like the establishing shots as well.
Is the bell about to go?
Yeah.
Right. We just write down a few notes for Faye if you haven't done so. What we'll do is we'll spend about, while we're getting everyone else set up, because that probably will be, we'll do some feedback to you on your presentation. We'll leave the sheets as they are. I am not looking after your valuable belongings. Okay, if you have it in there, then obviously you can leave it here, but it's not valuable. Yeah?